And we are so happy to have you on this wonderful journey with us. Uh, it's wonderful to have you again, Anshumanji. Namaste and welcome.
It's a pleasure
And
to be here. Thank you.
wonderful, and wish you all a very happy new year. Uh, just like to do a small, quick introduction before I hand it over to Tejal. So, Chiranjeev Gurukul, as you know, it's a community which is rooted in Bharatiya values and Indian knowledge systems. And our primary focus is to contribute to the nation's development. So we have been doing that for the last 2.5 plus, I mean, I think almost 3 years now. And of course, the journey goes way long before that, but Chiranjeev Gurukul is about that much, in age. So I thank you all for choosing Chiranjeev Gurukul as a platform to, help you all learn and grow, and invite you to immerse yourself in this profound wisdom of eternal Indian teachings. It's going to be a very, very powerful journey for you all. We have some amazing facilitators. You have already probably met Rajesh, most of you. We have Tejal, we have Nagarajan ji, we have Chitrat, who's not here. I think they'll join us maybe for a bit today, but you will meet them through the course of the sessions. And we have Sujata ji also, who will be coming in to do some of the yoga sessions. So, and we have a battery of back-end people who have contributed to the content, who maybe perhaps we'll probably connect at some point during the sessions. You will meet your mentors as well. And we have some amazing teaching methodologies which you will get to know of from Tejal. So I welcome you all. Please come in with a nice open mind to learn. It's going to be, I think the journey is always very, very exciting because there's a lot of new things that may come up. There may be some overwhelm. There may be all kinds of things that will happen, but we are all here to support you and to make this journey of yours a wonderful experience. So with that, I hand over to Tejal, and let's start with the Praathamik module.
Namaste, Amita. Namaste, everyone. So, these are the times when I'm sure Rajesh and Amita would agree that we miss the physical presence, because एकदम spontaneously आ रहा है कि मतलब तालियां बजा के सबको welcome किया जाए, but this limitation of virtual medium. Nonetheless, of course, gratitude that at least this is possible, and so many of us from different places are joining, and I'm sure we're going to have a wonderful journey. So first of all, congratulations to each of you for arriving at the decision of finally signing up for this program. Let me guarantee you, in the I think first 7th or 8th minute of the session, that it's going to be an exciting journey for all of you, because it has been for all of us as the facilitators and organizers. It has been very enriching. With every batch, it's just getting finer and better. So I'm sure you all would also be enjoying the journey, the process. Okay. Today is Lohri, so happy Lohri to all of you, especially from the ones who are sitting there in the north, right? So actually now the festivities started for the month of January. So today is Lohri, then we have Makar Sankrant, Uttarayan, Bihu. So what a lovely day to begin this beautiful journey together, isn't it? So I am very happy and pleased. I'm sure you all would also be feeling the same. uh, what we'll do today is something that I'm going to quickly touch upon. We'll first have a nice quick round of introduction with me talking a little bit about the course and also about the work that has gone behind, okay, which includes the 6S methodology and also introduction of Rajesh, a formal introduction of Rajesh. And then we will interact with all of you. Okay, it's going to be I would say playful conversations. Okay, so no need to really think about kya bolna hai. It's going to be a nice conversation, and then we will start with our first submodule. Okay, so that's going to be what we will do for next 2 hours from now. Okay, so let me quickly come to what is this course all about. So when we talk about leadership or management, I think we all have been conditioned in a certain way, and there are so many theories, frameworks that we tend to look up to the West, right? Most of our knowledge, whether it's servant leadership or any other, there are so many types of leaderships that we keep seeing in so many articles, right? But this course, as against that, is going to bring all of us back to our roots. Okay, something that existed right under our nose. That's the beauty of this course. So some of the things that perhaps the words or scriptures that you knew earlier in some ways perhaps is going to change. Okay, so in that sense it's going to be enriching and exciting with a lot of surprises. Okay, uh, now I'm going to talk a little bit about the 6S that Amita spoke about. Okay, this again, this 6S, of course we had to nicely portray it to all of you, so we are calling it 6S, but it existed from years together in our Bharat. Okay, the first S, the very very important one which is at the core, is Shastra. Okay, these are the sciences that has been enriching India for so many years. Okay, so this Shastra will talk about the concepts, the frameworks, the actual knowledge which is in condensed form in the language Sanskrit. Okay, we'll try to simplify it for all of us, uh, and also we'll be able to help you in look at those things in the modern context. Okay, so how do we then talk about Shastras? So there are these 4 5 things that we will use. One will be Samvaad, where we'll have lots of stories. Do you all like stories? Is there anyone who doesn't like story? Okay, good. I also love stories, and no matter how many times you hear them, is just beautiful. Okay, so we have Samvad, where we'll talk about a lot of stories, and we will discuss each and every aspect of the stories, because these stories were multi-layered. So in our discussion, the what will happen after the story is narrated. All of us are going to talk about what does this story mean to us and what all can we learn from the story. Okay, then we have Sabha, which is audio visuals. Now these audio visuals we have specifically chosen Chanakya serial and Upanishad Ganga as the source of learning. Okay, then we have Satsang, where we are going to look at some modern cases, contemporary businesses and leaders, and we will try and see what are the parallels. Do we see, like for example, if I study a leader, do I see the traits, do I see the principles which I'm learning in the Shastras? So basically this is our interaction which will happen around the practicalities. Okay, then we have something called as sadhana, which will help you take up a research project or an action project, again with the external worldview point. And then comes the very beautiful part of the whole course, that is Swadhyaya. Right? We all have certain objectives and purpose in mind while taking up this course. And one of the most important purpose, I think, for all of us should be to transform ourselves. And that will happen only when we look into ourselves. So the way we define Swadhyaya is it's the study of self, by self, and for self. We do this not for the world, not for anybody else, but for our own selves. Okay, so this is the beautiful structure of 6S, which we are going to use a lot in our modules. It will help you look at the same concept from different angles. Okay, as Amita said, we will have some mentors assigned to each of you. Each of you will have one mentor with whom you can connect with and discuss with that person some nuances or some doubts, some things that you were not able to do in the session. Okay, so we would recommend that while we are not going to track your sadhana and swadhyay too much, it is great practice to discuss your swadhyayas with your mentors. Okay, it will help you to personally accelerate your own journey. Right now, these mentors, who are these mentors? So these mentors are the ones who are actually in the brigade of creating the content. Okay, so the content that you see, which is categorized in this 6S, is all created by our team of people who have been into Indian wisdom for, I would say, more than 5-6 years now. Okay, we all share one vision of Uttishta Bharat. Okay, and we have all sort of, we're all professionals, of course, they're all good, great people in their own professional sphere, but they dedicate their time in studying and doing researches which is very much into Bharatiya Shastras. Okay, so I'm sure their practical experience and their immersion in Indian wisdom would help you accelerate your personal journey. Okay, now as I said, there is going to be sadhana and swadhyay, which will be focusing on your action project. There would be certain projects which would be group projects. Okay, so we will be putting you all into different groups, and you all will have satsangs in your own groups as well. So that is where you get to learn from each other, that is where you get to know each other, and I'm sure it will really help you bond well as well. Okay, besides this, we have the WhatsApp group where we will post all important announcements, and we would encourage all of you to continue the manthan on WhatsApp as well. Okay, so keep sharing your insights, your doubts, whatever it is, on WhatsApp. Don't wait for the Saturday sessions to happen and to come together. Okay, let the journey happens even through the weekdays. Now I'll come to Rajesh's introduction. I think most of you know him. Meenakshi, can we just project his profile? So while you could go through the profile that's there on the screen, I'm going to talk a little bit about Rajesh from my personal account. So I am fortunate to be working with him as a part of Chiranjeev Gurukul, as a part of Chanakya Consulting Insights. And I think the work that we are doing, he's the founder of Chanakya Consulting Insights. And the work that Chanakya Consulting does is to help the corporates look at their leadership from the Indian context. And I think the best thing that we see when we interact with corporate folks is the pride for India. Okay, now if I have to talk about Rajesh, he's been my guide, mentor, mitra. And I think the one thing that I particularly like about him is how purpose driven he is. Okay, so we'll have a good term for purpose now in the session, and you're going to have that delight. But I think this purpose drivenness is something that I really draw from him. He's very inspiring. I think all of the dilemmas are sorted when you are that clear about the purpose. So I think I think Amita would also agree, Meenakshi would agree that being with him is an amazing experience. So please make the most of it when you are in the session and even post the sessions. Okay. Now, Rajesh, I would request you to let's have some interaction with our participants, and let's do a little bit of ice breaking virtually. Yeah, over to you.
So, Namaste and Shubh Shanivar to all of you. So wonderful to see all of you once again. When I say all of you once again, of course, some of us are meeting for the first time, but there are several whom we met earlier. I'm hoping Ashish and Shalaka can also come on the camera at this moment. And grateful thanks to everybody else who came without being requested to. Shalaka,
Rajesh, just give me 2 minutes.
sure.
My camera is blur. I'm just trying to clear it out.
Okay,
Yeah.
no problem. Yes. So First of all, let me welcome you once again. You know, you will find this thing about all of us at CG. We love to welcome, applaud, you know, all the positive spirits. Okay. And hopefully some of that will rub off on all of us. So I want to see more smiles. Ashish, Raju, क्या हो गया? जब मिलते हैं आप स्माइल करते हो लेकिन यहाँ पर स्माइल नहीं करते. Okay, good. Amrita, Archana, of course, has been smiling. Tanuja, so good to see you all. Garima, and of course, our good old friend Anshuman. So, Anshuman has been taking pictures of all of us. I hope we'll soon figure on his, Insta and other social media. We may just have, some fame very soon. Okay. So, folks, I do want to tell you that this is among the only courses where the number of facilitators will soon match the number of participants. Okay. ऐसा course आपको कहीं नहीं मिलेगा world में. Because we love our programs so much, and I mean this, every minute of this, every word of this, that we don't mind even if we have, this is, third batch of Praathamik, and technically, I think it's our 13th batch. All right. But we still don't mind hearing the same things again, teaching the same things again, interacting with people. And as Tejal mentioned earlier, every batch does get better and better. So I don't know what it is. Lekin har batch is smarter than the previous. So times are moving so fast. And one thing which, if you haven't heard it sufficiently from me and the others, you are in the best leadership course in the world. Okay? And the reason for that is this, my dear friends. आप खुद discover करोगे, अभी तो सिर्फ मेरी testimony है, फिर आप खुद को पता चलेगा that जितना हम holistic way में cover करते हैं ना, that is something that you will not find anywhere. What tends to happen is, suppose you were to do a leadership course, let's say from INSEAD, France, right? Heavy, very, very, what do you say, in vogue to do leadership and management programs from elsewhere in the world. But what do you get? You get wisdom from one side of the world, the Western world. All right. If you were to do it in, let's say, Adi Shankara University in Kerala, there also you can do. But वहां आपको पूरा संस्कृत में और सिर्फ भारतीय वर्जन ही मिलेगा. Both have their own, specialities. But at Chiranjeev Gurukul, as you will see right from the word go, you will get a classic blend of both the worlds. So we bring together to you something which is unique to this leadership course anywhere in the world. Okay? And add to it the warmth of everyone who is here. So kitna maza aayega. So you've already become part of a larger family. Okay? So feel free to kind of treat this as your family, share your successes, share your setbacks, share your pains. We are all happy to hear that. And by the way, I just want to add, because sometimes this comes up, in case your pet is with you, please don't shut off your camera. Okay? In case your child is with you, please don't shut off your camera. Okay? We welcome it. हमको एक्स्ट्रा एनर्जी आ जाती है बच्चों को, पेट्स को देखकर बहुत मजा आता है. And they too learn from us, they contribute to us, isn't it? You all know it. So why not include family members as well? Yes. So with that, I'm going to get to a little bit of a, nice kind of an intro of our family. Yes. Can we have do we have the formal intros, or should I just go? Yes.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes. So generally we tend to go in alphabetical order. One of the things I noticed in this batch is we have many A's. Okay, Amruta hai, Ashish hai, Archana hai, Anshuman hai, all A's. And Atul, who's still to join, is coming in 10 minutes, I'm told. So many A's. So that means हमारे alphabetical order में A में ही इतने लोग हैं, right? Atul is yet to join. So who's the second one, Meenakshi? Yes. So Amruta, and I'm very happy to invite Amruta. She was the first one to, no, the second one to sign up for this course. But the moment she got to know of this course, she signed up very, very quickly. I've got to know Amruta very, very recently, but, from that little interaction, I can tell you that her commitment and devotion is commendable. But here's what I want to ask you, Amruta. आपका formal ये तो इस पर है, but let me ask you this. If you were to choose one Desi festival, today is Lohri as we just heard, what would be your favorite Indian festival and why?
I think Dasra will be my favorite Indian festival, and again it goes back to the history. Burai par achai ki jeet. So that is what it comes to my mind quickly.
Okay. And anything else about that festival that kind of delights your senses?
Yeah, I think keeps reminding us that we should always tend to overcome the negatives in
Sure,
ourselves. That is what we should
sure.
always aspire to do. And when we are looking at others from a behaviors perspective, we should also be understanding that he or she is also having the same battle that you
Right.
are into. So
Super.
that comes to my
Yes.
mind. Yeah.
Yes. And मेरे सामने ना वो 10 burning faces of Ravan आ रहे थे, Amruta. And I was trying to nudge you in that direction. But anyways, got it. Very nice. Thanks so much, Amruta. Great welcome to you.
Thank
And
you.
yes, leadership from the lens of Indic wisdom, you will get to learn and how. I promise you a phenomenal time here.
Thank you.
Okay? Yes. Please go to the next. Oh, okay. So S has taken precedence over A over here. Very nice. All right. So Shalaka, you're the lucky one to get a mention quite early in the list of participants. So here's my question to you. Since you are in food services, what is your most favorite desi dish? And
So,
share a little bit about it. In fact, you can share one or two maybe. Yes.
sure. So my inclination is towards Malwani or Konkani food, since I've been brought up, So I am a Malwani married to a Konkani guy. So it's quite similar. Again, the food habits are similar, but then my preference have always been the same. And just to add on, I was into the first batch of management training for Malacca Spice. So the interest grew there, for Southeast Asian food because there are a lot of similarities between these two.
Right, you are.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Fantastic.
I am a chef, slowly graduated to F&B service and now come to sales.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very nice. So good to hear. And I can just say that your choice of food is fantastic. Myself being a Konkani. लेकिन भारत का कौन सा खाना अच्छा नहीं है ना, चूज करना इतना मुश्किल
ऐसा
हो
है.
जाता है,
Yeah, I agree.
right?
Yeah.
It's just a matter of maybe a few extra things that one may have tasted in a particular region. Otherwise, very, very hard to choose from.
Agreed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Superb. So great welcome, Shalaka.
Thank
And
you.
good to know that, since you were a trainee at some point in time, you would have had a little bit of an orientation, even though CG would not have started then. But which year was this?
2010 to 11.
2010 and
10
11.
and 11. Yeah.
Quite a long time back. Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the Chanakya journey hadn't started then.
Yes.
Okay. But nevertheless, the mindset has always been, I would say, quite Indic. And that is what you will experience even more and more. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Fantastic. So have a
Thank you.
wonderful time over here. We have a great feast of learning for you over here.
Sure. Look forward.
Okay, wonderful. All right, and that brings us to Ashish. तो आशीष, आपसे ये पूछना है कि अगर कोई देसी कहानी या माइथोलॉजिकल कैरेक्टर आपको याद हो, तो which would be that, which would be your favorite, or which would be something that comes to your mind in our characters? कोई भी, हाँ, from any part of the country.
Desi kahanis, what, like in my phases, I have heard very most. Uh, One of the best stories are Chacha Chaudhary,
Okay.
and साथ में मतलब बहुत सारी कहानियां हैं उनकी, and
Yes.
some of them I really love though. And yes, हमको वो स्कूल में भी पढ़ाया जाता था. Our grandparents would like, और वो भी बताते थे what are the stories behind that character, the interesting parts, how they got created, what things to be learned, all those things. So yes, it was a very interesting character of like our time.
Okay. Sure. Okay, wonderful, Ashish. Good to hear. And I'm sure being on the floor of Malacca Spice, anyways, you are now part of the storytelling that is going on in a fun
Yes,
way
of course.
quite regularly. है ना? बहुत बढ़िया. All the best
Thank you.
and welcome to this program, Ashish. Let me tell
Thank you so
you, you
much.
are joining a group of, I would say, fairly large number of people now in the Malacca Spice group who have undergone this program and are practicing it on a daily basis. है ना? So all the best. Enjoy the program.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Next, please. Okay, so we go to Archana. I had the good fortune of meeting with Archana. I think we interacted a bit, right? Archana Jaipur में बहुत कम समय के लिए दो. And so good to see you again. And you're one of the very lucky people whose organization also gets covered during this course. So, that's a way, it would be a very proud moment for you. So, Archana, here's my question to you. ठीक है? कहानियों के माध्यम से ना जो जैसे ट्रेनिंग हो सकता है, I don't think there is a better way. Okay? So what I want to ask you is, have stories, Indian stories, fascinated you? And any one favorite story, if at all, you can just give us the title, which you have been able to recollect for yourself and perhaps sometimes use in the course of your training. What would it be?
There are a lot of stories. One of my favorite, which I like used to watch, was Malgudi Days, and there are so many learnings from it. And you get a lot of instances where which you can use it during your training sessions. So obviously, I use those, and storytelling is one of the best way to facilitate anything.
Superb. Very nice. So you will get to hear, I think, a lot of unique stories on this program, starting with one in just half an hour from now, half an hour or lesser. Okay. And I hope you can integrate this also into your teaching going ahead.
Absolutely.
So great welcome to you, Archana. Enjoy this program. I'm sure you will find a lot of inner happiness in this program. Huh?
Looking forward for it.
Great. So that brings us to Tanuja. Yes, Tanuja, how are you doing?
मैं बिल्कुल ठीक हूँ. आप कैसे हैं?
एकदम ठीक हूँ, लेकिन मुझे उतना मेमोरी नहीं आ रहा है ऑफ हैविंग इंटरेक्टेड विथ यू. आई रिमेम्बर मीटिंग मेनी पीपल इन द डिपार्टमेंट. डिड वी इंटरेक्ट? हमारा इंटरेक्शन हुआ था?
I'm
नहीं
sorry.
ना?
I think I don't have the memory of it.
हाँ, तो मुझे
Yeah.
भी नहीं है.
Yeah.
एनीवेज, यहाँ तो मिले. So Tanuja, here's my question to you. Tell me, is there any tradition okay, any Desi tradition, it can be in any domain, whether, something that we follow in our home or a particular health lifestyle or a festival or whatever, that you thought was something that really appealed to you. कौन सा रहेगा वो? Any.
So I think ये wedding में होता है. People put their handprints on the wall. I think that really appeals to me, and it it kind of gives identity to the space and builds the connection between somebody who's who's not even in the space, but to see that somebody was here.
Wow.
And reminds of the happy times, I think so. Yeah.
Wow. Very beautiful. So nice. Never thought of this. Handprints create an identity, है ना, of the individual and the connection to the space. बहुत बढ़िया. So nice. Okay. That's one thing also I would want to study further, because I haven't researched this at all कि क्यों करते हैं, उसके पीछे क्या मतलब है. Anything that is known to you, please share. Otherwise, of course, let me also try and figure.
Yeah, but I think I'd like to join you on this
Yes.
quest.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for
Yes.
asking that question, I think.
Haji.
Yeah.
So we will jointly find out, because as you will figure, हम ये course, सारे course में, throughout the course हम लोग ये बोलते रहते हैं that there is a science behind everything. Nothing in Bharat is done without a scientific basis. Even the way of sitting or standing or speaking or anything, even sleeping, there's a science behind it. So we'll find out very soon what is the science behind those handprints. So welcome to you, Tanuja. Have a great learning time over here. I guarantee you your capabilities will begin to rise.
Looking forward. Thank you.
Haji. Yes, next please. And Atul, welcome. We missed you for the first few minutes. You're on mute. Atul, you are on mute, so we are not able to hear you.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. Very good
No
morning
problem.
to everyone. There was some exigency at my neighbor's place, so I stepped.
No issues. No issues. We'll come to you in just a few moments, Atul.
Sure.
Yes, I'm glad you are here. And that brings us to Anshuman. So, Anshuman made a very, bold point in the last 2 days. He said, "Sir, आपने जो भी पढ़ाया था पिछली बार मुझे कुछ नहीं समझा." So I said, this time I'll make sure there's nothing in this entire program that you don't follow. Okay. And of course, that's on the lighter side. Anshuman is actually a ad surf. I can tell you, even though he couldn't complete the last program, got caught up with many things, but he certainly is one of the life of the group, with a lot of energy, lot of enthusiasm, and we are ever thankful to him for also bringing to us 2 participants who were so very involved in learning in the course. So Anshuman, welcome once again. So Anshuman, here's what I want to ask you. Did I bulldoze you into completing the course, or did you join out of your interest?
No, well, when I wanted to leave the last time, you had no issues with me leaving. But uh, just this time, I think it was just your kindness, the way you spoke about the cost and the enthusiasm with which you invited me is the only reason that I joined this time. I was just pulled towards doing this this time around.
I'm so
And
happy.
yeah,
Yes.
that's nice. So.
Superb. And Anshuman, anyways, by his profile also you can see that being in the coaching profession itself makes you a great learner. आप सीखे बिना आप coach बन ही नहीं सकते. So I'm sure that will also get added further. So Anshuman, great welcome to you once again. And help fire up the entire environment for all of us.
So, sir, you were telling people that if you have pets, then you switch on your video. If you have children, then you switch on the video. I just wanted to ask you, what if my inner child is there? Can I express to the fullest?
Most welcome. You can jump with joy.
Wonderful, sir. And sir, it's a holistic life coach.
हाँ
It's
जी,
not just a life coach.
बिल्कुल
Thank you so much, sir. And thank
बिल्कुल
you so much for having me here.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. Great pleasure. Okay, so we come to Raju, who is full of beans when we visit him at his outlet. And Raju, you bring a lot of life to the floor of the restaurant. और मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूँ ये कि आपने आपके colleagues में, and especially Ravi, since he's right around you, have you seen any learning of Indian wisdom या चाणक्य या कोई भी चीज जो आपने देखा हो कि वो प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं और वो देखने से आपको लगता है अरे आई मस्ट ऑल्सो नो दिस लिटिल बिट मोर, तो वो क्या होगा?
सॉरी जैसे मैंने देखा है कि काफी सारे जो स्टोरी हैं हम एवरी टीम मीटिंग में हम शेयर करते हैं। जैसे चना का एक हो गया, अन्ना तुरई हो गया, तो उससे जो है ना बहुत सारी चीजें हमें मतलब मालूम चलती है। कल परसों हमारे साथ और एक ट्रेनिंग हुआ था, इसको नाम याद नहीं आ रहा है, लेकिन मतलब स्टोरी से हम काफी कुछ सीखते हैं सर। इट्स वेरी गुड टू मतलब स्टोरी बताना है, सीखना
Was
है।
it Mouse Merchant?
हाँ, माउस मर्चेंट जो स्टोरी मैंने कल ही मेरे पूरे टीम मेंबर को शेयर किया, दे आर वेरी हैप्पी एंड उन्हें बहुत अच्छा लगा। एंड दे आल्सो सेड कि वी लर्निंग न्यू थिंग इन फ्रॉम योर स्टोरीज सेवन।
बहुत बढ़िया, सुपर. So all the best to you, Raju. I hope you are able to further take जो भी हम इस कोर्स में सीखेंगे into your day to day living, राजू. हाँ, एक तो
यस सर।
कोलिग्स के साथ आपको काम करना है, बट जो सेल्फ इम्प्रूवमेंट है, सेल्फ डेवलपमेंट है, आपको बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिलेगा इस कोर्स में. ओके, सो ऑल द बेस्ट टू यू.
थैंक यू सर।
Yes, next please. Okay, and that brings me to Garima. And I've been personally very fond of Garima since I met her, looking at the very good work that she's doing. But Garima, here's what I want to ask you. Okay, I know right from the first moment that we spoke, you've shown an inclination towards Indian wisdom. थोड़ा सा और बताइए about anything that in your childhood or in your growing up years, or even during your education, that stoke this desire further. What would it be that you would mention?
So, namaste everyone. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, echoing a little bit.
Okay, okay. So, okay, growing up, so I come from a traditional family. And my father was traditional elements that happen at home. It's since I've been like,
Garima, there is echo. We are unable to hear you. I'm sorry.
this is actually problem.
No, still it's the same.
So, just wondering, you want to go on your mobile, Garima? I'm so sorry, लेकिन आपका sound काफी echo हो रहा है. We are not able to.
I think go back.
Better.
It's better.
Yes.
Better.
Better, Atul.
Yeah, still better.
So, like growing up, I was having this very traditional Hindu element at home, and I was growing up in a Catholic school. So, while I was going to temples, I was also going to chapels and praying religiously. So, there were quite contrasting elements. At the same time, I was traveling a lot. So, my mother was having a knack for different religious practices and facing everything. We often went to so also to the Ashton temples also, speaking of elements. But because of the it's too young to get swallowed up. But after visiting all these places, coming back home, listening to one story where a foreigner mentioned about Krishna and the Bhagavad Gita. I think it found my interest strongly towards the traditional scriptures, and then I wanted to know the beginning of it. At the same time, I was also a classical dancer. So I learned about art Shakti and Natya Shastra. And then I really learned what to try to watch it. So I started basically conceptualization part of it. Like what is the design behind embodiments, I would say. So that's how, the interest is there.
Nice. Picked up about 60-70% of all you said. So Garima, maybe you'll need to replace your speakers, or I don't know what it is, because we'll really miss otherwise your interaction with us on various things. Okay, check if you can change it. If not, during this session, at least for sure before the next. Huh? Or एक बार test कर लीजिए with Meenakshi or any of us. Happy to do that. Okay, superb. All right. So last but not the least, want to go back to Atul because we missed. Atul, आपका नाम सबसे पहले आया था.
Oh,
But of course, understand your exigencies, no problem. Atul was the first one to sign up for this course, and he's been waiting around actually for a month and a half. So first of all, thanks Atul for being so eager. Could you share a little bit about what drew you to this program? Besides, I'm sure Asim, who would have also spoken about this program.
right. So for me, I think I again come from a very traditional, I would call it a religious family background. Even though my father was in Air Force, but I kept on roaming here and there, but very much connected to the roots. So I have a lot of confusion, to be very frank, Rajesh. There are a lot of rituals which are being followed. Probably I don't know the reason why, or I don't know the real truth behind those. So I am in the search of the truth, frankly, that what exactly is the fact, because there are various versions, right? In Sanskrit, we call it Munde Munde Matir Bhinna. So if I'll read one Gita, there is one version. If I'll read your Gita, you will have your own version. So I want to really reach to the truth that what exactly is there, and of course then apply those things on my life and the people around me. And specifically, I feel my major focus is also to inculcate these teachings before uh, into my children, because
Yes.
that is they are quite young, and I strongly believe that none of the education can be better than our Indian wisdom and the whole sagar which we have. So that is where I'm more keen to learn, and so that I can actually pass on the right information, the
क्या
truth
बातें
to
कही
my
sir.
children.
Superb. As you will find in the next few sessions, Atul, I feel a lot of your queries will be answered. Okay, a lot. And many new queries will evolve, will appear, but they won't be the same as earlier.
As earlier.
So
Right.
in that way, we will learn together, Atul, and no better reason to be here than to seek what could be more true than what I already know now.
Exactly.
Right. Absolute truth to एक ही है, but
Yeah.
what can be more true than that which I have been conditioned to? है ना?
True.
So
True.
बहुत बढ़िया. And as well as the second thing which you mentioned about orienting the child towards Indian wisdom. और आपको मैं बता दूं, हमने चिरंजीव गुरुकुल से सीजी शाला की शुरुआत की है पूना में, and from there on we are taking it now to the Konkan, and hopefully in the next few years Indian wisdom will be there in all schools.
Super.
Yes. So great welcome, Atul, and thank you everyone. I'm sure just listening to each other also you feel excited. Okay, and we certainly are. So I'm going to hand it back to Tejal now. We have something very important to do, which we will start in this session and do every session. Over to you, Tejal.
Yes, thank you, Rajesh, and thank you, everyone. Wasn't it exciting? Like all of us from different backgrounds all together, and this journey, I'm telling you, is going to be very exciting. And as you said, Atul, yes, the search of truth. I think maybe too early for me to say, but I think it's a right place for you to be in. I am really excited about the participation now. Uh, why I said that is also because this course is very beautiful in its uh, way of content creation. Okay, initially we'll have a few sessions on introduction to what Bharatiya Shastra is all about. However, as we move ahead, it's going to bring in the yoga and artha shastra together. Okay, it's a very beautiful combination, folks, because yoga is going to take you on an inward journey and build you to prepare and create prosperity outside of you. Okay, so artha shastra is going to help you with certain tools and techniques and frameworks to create that prosperity outside of you, and yoga is going to build that inner fortitude and resilience and all of, I think, which all is based on the truth, right? So yeah, it's going to be an interesting journey. And as Rajesh said, all the sessions are going to start in a very, very Bharatiya way. Okay, and that Bharatiya way, I'm sure all of you can guess, is with a prayer, right? All the learning sessions in Bharat start with creating the environment which is conducive for learning. Okay, so you may have received the invocation prayers, which essentially talk about creating that space for all of us, okay, where we all can learn from each other without letting the ego take over or get the best of us. Yeah, so let's all sit straight. Take a moment to sort of connect to the now by sitting straight, keeping your buttocks firmly grounded on the floor. Wherever you are, maybe on the chair, on the floor, just feel the touch of the floor. It'll be a great idea for you all to close your eyes unless you have any difficulty closing. And now, as you close your eyes, I want you to just quickly scan through the whole body and look at the sensations that you feel. Maybe you could start with relaxing your jaw first. Relax your mouth. Relax the neck and shoulders. Feel the whole of your spine, right till your tailbone. And feel both your legs. We will now make an attempt to stay still till the time we complete our prayer. The physical stability will help you achieve the mental stability. Gently now bring your attention to the breath. Wherever you feel it the most, at the entrance of the nostril or throat or chest, just be with the breath, the natural flow and the rhythm of the breath. Notice the inhalations and exhalation. And if there are any thoughts, let them be there. Do not struggle. Keep coming back to the breath. We will now chant Om 3 times, followed by our invocation prayer. So take a nice deep inhale here. Om. Om. सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावदीदमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वर गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः Gently bring your palms together in front of the chest. Let's bow our head down in gratitude to all the gurus, acharyas, rishis. And let's gently open our eyes. Namaste once again. Namaste, Rajesh.
Namaste to all, and let's start our Chiranjeev Gurukul leadership course, Praathamik batch number 3. Okay, and what a fantastic day to start this. We were determined to begin on this day itself in Jan, and I'm glad that we are all together for this. Okay, so you heard from Tejal about the 6S methodology. अभी 6S methodology जो है ये पूरा भारत से ही है. हमने सिर्फ उसको एक नाम दिया है 6S. तो जो भी आपने सुना, whether it is शास्त्र, संवाद, सत्संग, all of these are known ways of learning. We said that how do we ensure that in addition to our content, even the way of learning is our own? And thus came this 6S, And as I mentioned on the chat, a 7th S will crop up once in a while. And we call it a Samakrida. And a Samakrida is to play together. Because as Anshuman mentioned, there's an inner child, not just in him, but all of us. So how do we entertain that inner child? Through play, through Samakrida. Yes, let's go. Next, please. Yes, next, please. Yes. And our first module, my dear friends, today is called Modern versus Eternal. As you can make out from the name itself, and you link it to the various questions that I asked each of you. We live in modern times, but we live in a nation which is eternal. Bharat has been there for God alone knows how long. And it is re-emerging as a nation that can be of value to everyone. So what is it that existed in those days which continue till now? And can we contrast it with what we live today? And by contrast, I don't mean necessarily compare. All right? Because some of it may coexist. In fact, a lot of it will coexist. So we are not talking about, one better than the other or one being substituted by the other. We are saying, let's understand these two. Yes, let's start. So as we had promised, we start today's session with a beautiful story called DaDaDa. और ये क्या है DaDaDa कहानी? अभी आगे सुनते हैं. All right, so now probably anyone who has, lived in Bharat for a while can tell that this image is no one but that of Brahma. है ना? हमको किसने बताया? Nobody knows if Brahma really has this flowing beard and all of that. But ये image से immediate पता चलता है. So Brahma ji created many races. Okay, now when I say races, I don't mean in terms of different parts of the world. I mean, different kinds of creation. So, of course, he created the flora and fauna and several other, beings. But the three main beings which he created, three categories, were as follows. Dev in Svargalok, Manav on Prithvi Lok, and Danav in Patal Lok. है ना? This is a general understanding we all have had since childhood in different ways, through stories. I'll repeat that. Dev in Svargalok, Manushya or Manav in Prithvi Lok, which includes all of us, and Danav in Patal Lok. Now देखो तीनों का position भी अलग अलग है. They don't, go and live in other places. They may visit, but these are fixed realms. So Brahmaji created them, and he created them in different places, obviously with the hope that they will live happily where they were. But as is the case of the world, nobody is ever happy for too long. तो एक समय आया जब देव भी अनहैप्पी हो गए, मानव भी अनहैप्पी थे और दानव भी अनहैप्पी थे, तीनों ही नाखुश. With what? Don't know, but unhappy, dissatisfied. So we may think that it is only in modern organizations where we study and, arrive at employee engagement, disengagement, active disengagement. और ये हमको लगता है is a part of modern management, but no. Disengagement happened in those days. ये पुराण की बात हो रही है. And so the Devs, Manavs and Danavs all decided that we are going to complain to our boss about this unhappiness. And whom did they complain to? Obviously Brahmaji. So they didn't want to just, send an email and say we are unhappy. They wanted to formally in person lodge that complaint. So the representatives of Svargalok, the representatives of Manavlok, the representatives of Danavlok, all marched in the direction of Brahmalok. See how smart Brahma is. He's created a separate lok for himself because he knows otherwise he'll be disturbed every minute. So all started going in the direction of Brahmalok. Obviously, by way of proximity, you can imagine that Brahmalok won't be in Patal, right? Brahmalok will be somewhere high up there. तो कौन पहुंचेगा सबसे पहले? Devlok. So the representatives of Devlok, they reached Brahmaji. और जब वो ब्रह्मलोक पहुंचे तो ब्रह्मा जी was in deep meditation, ध्यान में थे, आंखें बंद थी, and he was in total meditation. So they didn't want to disturb him. They waited and waited till Brahmaji opened his eyes. And as soon as Brahmadev opened his eyes, the Devs quickly, complained and said, we are so unhappy. Please tell us how to solve this problem, right? It's very common. Go and complain and say, you are responsible to now solve this problem. So Brahmadev heard them, and in a split moment, he gave the answer. And what was the answer? Da. And saying so, he shut his mouth again and his eyes also and went back into dhyan. Single syllable response, da. But guess what? The representatives of Devlok were happy that they got the answer to their problem. And happily they started marching back to Devlok to share it with the rest of their people. उसके बाद कौन पहुंचे? मानव. Because you see, by way of geographical distance, Prithvilok comes next. So Prithvilok ke Vasi, Manav pahunche. The leaders of Manav reached. And they too found Brahmaji was still in meditation, doing his dhyan. And the moment they found that Brahmaji's eyes moved a little bit, they quickly poured out that we are unhappy, we are dissatisfied, we are discontented, this, that, all of that. Please give us a solution. And what did Brahmaji do? He said, da. And once again, he shut his mouth and eyes and went back into dhyan. Now, you may think that the humans were unhappy still with the answer, but no. For once, the humans were satisfied. And when they heard that da, they too felt कि हमको हमारा solution मिल गया, हमारे सवाल का जवाब मिल गया, and we will also go back and share with all our humankind that we are now satisfied with the answer that Brahmaji gave us. Okay, so Manavs also went back. Last who reached in the order? Danav, because geographical distance. So the representatives of Danav Lok, of Patal Lok, also reached. And they too waited until Brahmaji opened his eyes. And the moment Brahmaji opened their eyes, they also poured out all their dissatisfaction with a full emotion. Brahmaji was unmoved by the emotion. And what do you think he said? Yes, you guessed it right. Once again, he said, da, and he went back into his dhyan. All right. So now Danav also went back very happily, saying that हमको हल मिल गया, हमारे problem का solution मिल गया. They went back happily. Now you may wonder what the hell is happening, Rajesh. Brahma ji तीनों बार da 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 बोले, but to add to the height of it, everybody was happy with this da. Surely they would have decoded something. है ना? And what was that something which they understood? So here let's understand. The Devs went back and they told their people, no, rest of Devlok, that Brahma ji ने कहा that हमारे लिए एक ही चीज की जरूरत है, वो है दाम्यता. So that da stood for दाम्यता. दाम्यता क्या है? Self-restraint. I repeat, Damyata stands for self-restraint. Because the Dev had endless luxury. They had Somras, they had Apsaraye, they had Amrit, all sorts of great luxuries. So they kept indulging. And now they understood that when Brahmaji said, he meant Damyata rakho devo. Only then you will be satisfied. And so they followed what Brahmaji said, at least for that moment. All right. Then came the Manav. तो ब्रह्माजी ने जब उनको भी डा कहा, तो मानवों ने क्या समझा? What did the leaders of the human beings understand? And they understood da as dan. They understood da as dan. And why dan? Because you know and I know that there is no greater consumer of things than humans. Whatever we get, we consume. And therefore, they understood that the solution to their problems lies in not consuming, but in giving, in passing on, in sharing. And as long as they kept sharing, they would also know joy. तो मानवों को समझा कि उनको जो डा बोला था, उस डा का मतलब है दान. Finally came Danav. What did they understand? Why did they feel happy? Even their answer was Da. But their Da stood for Daya. They got their Da as Daya. And why Daya? Daya, my dear friends, does not only stand for sympathy, but Daya in Sanskrit stands for empathy as well, for compassion as well, for understanding of others' feelings as well. So the Asurs had become very powerful, and in this lust for power, they had lost an understanding of others' emotions. They were always trying to control others. This led to their dissatisfaction, and they understood that Brahmaji told them that दानवों आपको याद रखना है दया, so that will enable you to feel a little more happy, satisfied, and contented. So friends, the three words, the three learnings, just to summarize, with the three people, three residents of three lok have got are as follows. The Dev understood Da as Damyata. Damyata means self-restraint. The Manavs understood Da as Daya, and Daya means giving and sharing and keeping in circulation. And the Danavs understood Da as Daya, and Daya means empathy and compassion. With this, the three representatives who went back were able to share Brahmaji's wisdom with their people, and at least till the next time they went to Brahmaji, they lived quite happy and satisfied. So ये है हमारी डा 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 की कहानी पुराणों से. And we have to have a Samvaad now, and therefore, next slide please. I want to ask you, what are your reflections? There's no particular order in which we should go. You can just raise your hands and I will come to you. Let's share what we learned from this story. Please remember that कोई भी कहानी में हम जो सीखते हैं is more important than the story itself. Yes, who would like to go?
So I can start. So I think we all have these three things in us. We, a part of us is Dano, a part of us is Mano, and a part of us is, Dev also. So we have all these things.
Wow.
How to, maintain a balance and how to lead a happy life with with three DaDaDa is the key message I could, get.
Superb. Excellent start, Archana. Okay, so all of us have Dev, Danav, and Manav within us. So you can say that CG is the first leadership course that brings so much of diversity to the course. हमारे पास केवल मानव ही नहीं है, देव और दानव भी आते हैं सीखने के. Okay, wonderful. Yes, who wants to go next? Yes, please go, Tanuja. Tanuja and then Atul.
So, what I could gauge from it is maybe we all know the answer within. उन्हें सबको शायद पता था कि उन्हें क्या करना चाहिए, but the nudge they needed is from somebody who they looked up to and who they thought knew better than them. They wanted to hear it from that person, but they knew deep down कि क्या करना चाहिए.
Yeah. Superb. Very, very nice.
Thank you.
तीनों लोगों को पता था कि शायद उनके मन में जो सवाल था या जो नाखुशी थी उसका हल क्या है. But they needed to hear it from someone whom they looked up to, said Tanuja. Very nice. So someone whom we look up to may act as a sounding board for us. है ना? बहुत बढ़िया. Beautiful. Yes, Atul, please go.
Yeah, so what I would say interpreted from this story is that we have different phases of our life. So there are some phases wherein मुझे तीनों दादा को अप्लाई करना है with our wisdom. And it's also situation. So कभी मुझे दया दिखानी, कभी मुझे दान करना है, और कभी मुझे वो करना है, सॉरी पहला वर्ड में भूल गया,
दाम्यता.
दाम्यता. तो restrain मुझे कब करना है is also important, and this is in this whole life cycle these situations will come. So we should use our wisdom when to use what, and these three are important.
Superb. So all three have to be used, says Atul. And these are different times in our lives, or different circumstances, or different situations in which we have to have the wisdom of using any one of them, or two of them, or maybe all three. Very nice. So beautiful. Yes. So see the dimensions, various dimensions that are coming out now. Yes. Who else would like to go? Haji, Ashish, boliye.
तो एज स्टोरी में जैसे हमने सुना कि देवों के लिए दा मीन समथिंग एल्स, मानव के लिए अलग था, दानव के लिए अलग था. तो समवेयर आई फाउंड कि बीइंग मानव ऑफ कोर्स, तो हमें कहीं ना कहीं दान इस चीज को मतलब करना चाहिए, विच आई फाउंड पर्सनली कि इसमें जो एक्सपीरियंस और जो खुशी मिलती है दैट इज समथिंग एल्स. So it's not about donating money, but yes, you can donate love as well.
Superb.
So what I found personally is daan, where once you do, it's food, it's clothes, whatever you feel like, it give a very different kind of happiness when you see the person getting the help from your side,
Yes.
the love from your side, and
Yes.
the return love what you get is amazing.
Jabardast, Ashish, excellent. So this is the right time to clarify to all of us, my dear friends, कि दान हमारे शास्त्रों में चैरिटी नहीं है. I repeat, दान हमारे शास्त्रों में चैरिटी नहीं है. So then what is it? दान is merely something that you should naturally do, that whenever something comes to you, you start sharing it ahead. All right. So daan is merely a flow, as natural as air and water flows in our entire universe. You get it? Everything in nature is made to flow, right? My favorite example for this is your own breath, my dear friends. क्या आप जब इनहेल करते हो, तेजल ने बोला इनहेल करो, so do you then hold on to it and say, this is my breath, this belongs to me, this is only mine, I'm going to lock it up and keep it forever? क्या होगा? I don't need to tell you. That means you know now naturally that I have to release it. Right? Can daan be as natural as that every single resource on this planet was never mine? Let me not claim that this is mine. All right? We have to keep circulating it. This is daan. So well put, आशीष. सिर्फ पैसे की दान नहीं, पैसे का दान नहीं होता है, प्यार का होता है, ज्ञान का होता है, and all sorts of things. Okay, basically anything that comes to us, let it flow. Haji, beautiful. So let's go to Amrita and then Garima.
Yeah. So I think again picking up from this दान, it just clicked for me too as well कि हमारे संस्कृति में दान का इतना महत्व क्यों है. And thank you Rajesh for really giving an insight कि yes, humans are possibly the I don't know, मतलब सबसे ज्यादा कंज्यूम ह्यूमंस करते हैं, हर चीज उनको चाहिए है. I hope कि the times come soon that we make earth a better place to live. So दान में जहाँ पे हम कई चीजों का दान दे सकते हैं, बेसिकली इट्स अ शेयरिंग, इट्स नॉट अ चैरिटी. थैंक यू अगेन फॉर दिस इंसाइटिंग. सो आई वाज थिंकिंग कि कोई भी चीज का दान जो हमारे षड रिपुज होते हैं उसको कम करने के लिए शायद कौन सा दान किस चीज के लिए करना चाहिए. आई थिंक दैट इज देयर इज सम लिंकेज अबाउट इट, आई डोंट नो. And
Yes.
second is, from this story, I think people, I mean, all these three categories, they had problems. They went with an open minded for getting a solution from Brahmaji, and nobody was thinking that Brahma could be biased, because uh, Dana could have, thought that he is
Yes.
giving a biased decision, or but they knew the solution. So I think open-mindedness, that they went to somebody, they are looking up to a person, and
Wow.
that believe that whatever solution comes from that person is actually for the benefit of their overall community, maybe. So this is my take
Oh,
from this.
yes. I'll take that last point. Very beautiful, Amrita. Whenever I have a problem and I'm seeking answers, unless I go with faith, the chances of me really getting that are very low. That's why, I think it was Amita or Tejal, one of them mentioned, please approach this program with an open mind. The more open you are, the more you will gain. The more willing you are to believe I will find answers, the more you will benefit. ये पक्का है. And to Amrita's point, I know it is natural for all of us to say this. I wish this world will become a better place. I am saying that time is now. We have created this course to make the world a better place. We haven't created this course to get, make CG a bigger company. Our entire purpose is very clear. Uttishta Bharat, you would have seen it even in the opening slides which Minakshi played. And through Uttishta Bharat, which means that Bharat should rise as a beacon of light. All of us should become role models to guide the world. ठीक है? हम idealistic इसके लिए बात करते हैं क्योंकि भारत is an ideal land. We will start making the world a better place. Each of us. And you will find
Rajesh, we lost you for a bit. If you can repeat.
I think he's frozen, is it? Let's wait. I think Garima wanted to say something, huh?
Yeah, oh, he's back.
Oh yeah, he's back. Yes, Rajesh, you were saying something and then you were frozen.
I was asking for Garima only to go ahead and share. And I said, then after that, we'll go to our next set of slides. Please go, Garima.
I have made some adjustments. Am I audible now?
I think much better now, much
Yeah.
better.
Okay.
You sound of this planet. पहले ब्रह्मलोक वाली लग रही.
मैं वहीं बैठी थी. So I have a very different take from others, because most of it has already been said. So I am looking at Brahma's point of view and how, as a leader, he has maintained the equilibrium. So he is very selective with his words. It's da, da, da. And he is trying to avoid conflict. At the same time, he is enabling his employees or his, I can relate
Team.
it to an
Yeah,
organization.
please go ahead.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So his team and his management style is such where he is enabling them to do swadhyay and then act on what needs to be done individually. So individual concerns addressed.
Very nice, boss. पूरा आंसर नहीं देना है, सिर्फ डा बोलना, ढूंढ लेना. But nice, yes, why not? If I can enable people to find their own answers, nothing better than that. So how do we enrich? So very beautiful, right? I think it was Tanuja who spoke about how answers lie within us, but we need someone else to voice it to and perhaps sound it back to us. And here you gave the other perspective where we are saying that people have the answers perhaps within themselves. We have to be available to enable them, to empower them, and to make them feel, you know it, my dear friend. आपको सिर्फ खुद के अंदर झांक के देखना है. And absolutely right. Therefore, one of our strongest ways of learning in leadership development and in this course is Swadhyay. Okay, which we will see later on in today's session. Wonderful. So let me give you all, big applause, and our belief that every batch is smarter gets strengthened further today. बहुत बढ़िया, wonderful people. Yes, let's go to the slides back again. I know we are still to hear from 3-4 more people, लेकिन यहाँ compulsory नहीं है कि सबको बोलना ही है. Okay, as and when it occurs to you, you may sound it. Yes, next please. Okay, so hold. Just go back for a moment. Yeah, keep it there. So why did we tell you the story of DaDaDa? One is that you got a nice introduction कि किस तरीके से भारतीय शास्त्र को डिजाइन किया है, where there are beautiful stories that nudge you very gently in the direction of finding your answers. है ना, ये तो पता चला. But अभी सोचो, what was the context? The context was that they were unhappy, Manav were unhappy, Danav were unhappy. And if for a moment we accept what Archana said, that all three of us are there within each one of us, that means such is the range of problems that we have. And you are bang on, Archana. So let's look at what are today's challenges for which we need DaDaDa. Okay, let's look at it. Please go. You can put in all. Yes. So, very commonly today we refer to today's times as VUCA times, though with the times, even that has changed its acronym from VUCA to BUNNY. Okay. But we won't go there. VUCA stands for volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. एक acronym है. And because of today's complex times, we say there is explosion of media, both mass media and social media. There's exponential growth of technology. There is unlimited competition, and business environment is quite complex. है ना? For example, we see today itself, right, how AI is making life easier on one hand, but also challenging on another hand. How social media is educating on one hand, and how it is also, causing huge amount of psychological issues on another. Right? So this is the first set of category of problems. Second, we have many more friends and followers, but relationships have become more fragile and society has become more fragmented. Yeah, Meenakshi, you can take off that last sentence. Just hold. So this is the second set of issues. The third one, we say that, hey, look at the weather. इस बार नवंबर, दिसंबर, जनवरी तीनों में बारिश आई है. And it will continue through Feb, March, April. So now we are in a stage where summer, winter, and monsoon happen in all months. And many strange sort of weather situations are there around the world, right? As well as pandemics. Zika hua, Corona hua, ye hua, wo hua, and God alone knows what more to come. This is the third set. Fourth is in terms of individuals. Why are more and more people being looted, being killed, being cheated, being murdered? What is happening? Why should a woman who is supposedly the CEO of a startup smother her 4-year-old son to death? And there can be various reasons. And one of the challenges definitely is the declining values of individuals. And last but not the least, there is conflict in various parts of society, whether it is the Red Sea, whether it is Russia versus Ukraine, whether it is Israel versus Palestine, and so on and so forth. Disgruntled elements of humankind. Now, all these problems are there. So why are we showing these to you? Please click. Because Bharatiya Shastra and India's own wisdom is the DaDaDa for these problems, my dear friends. Because as you will see, I'm not just, making this as a wish list or a wishful thinking. I am saying you and I will together start finding answers to our own problems, both corrective and preventive. Next, please. So here comes your first Svadhyay. Yes. So this is what we would request you to do post the session. Please connect the story with today's challenges. And the questions are very stark, my dear friends. The first question is, which of these problems am I a part of? Okay? And how can I do my bit to reduce it? For example, we said humans consume a lot. Hai na? But who humans? You and me. So, is there something which I can consume lesser, for example? We may say that there is so much of conflict in society. Again, I may examine my relationships and say, which of my relationships are under stress today? Can I do something about it? Hai na? So we'll start analyzing this by ourselves. Don't wait for someone else. There is no PM or president or whoever who's going to solve all your issues. No. हमको ही करना है. We are the enablers and we are the ones who will find answers. Okay, and I'm very confident that with our Praathamik course, we will begin to do this. Next, please. Now, what we are going to do, dear friends, in the next 10 slides. Okay, these are the slides which most people, जिसने भी प्राथमिक कोर्स किया है या उसके पहले फाउंडेशन कोर्स किया है, which was the first name, remember very well. Why? Because in each of these slides, we are showing you a contrast of what it is in modern times and what is the eternal Indian principle. So here we go, the first one. And in every slide, I will go with modern first and then Indian. In modern times, we say, process को बनाओ, उसको automate करो, और ह्यूमंस को उसमें से निकाल दो. Right? I'm sure you read the news today as well as yesterday, where Google, Microsoft, Citibank, and several others have no regrets, no compunction, no second thoughts to downsize 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 people. Why? AI आ गया है. So now we don't need people. The eternal Indian principle is that people are the core. Let them decide what processes to make happen, what processes to automate, which processes work better and better for the world to function better. And I'm very happy to report to you that even technology is gradually realizing this. So in Industry 5.0, it is once again saying, how do we automate? How do we industrialize better? Keeping people at the center. देखा आपने कैसे even modern times are reverting to the eternal. So please study Industry 5.0 and you will find. So the difference is modern times saying humans are trained keeping process at core. Indian is saying process is designed keeping human at the core. Okay, we'll go through all these 10. You can please park your questions. If any questions, we'll respond to it at the end. Okay, all of your questions. Next, please. Modern times. One of the first things that I learned in management, and it continues for most organizations, probably 100% of organizations, that the purpose of an organization is to make profit. वहीं से सारी गलतियां शुरू हुई. Eternal Indian wisdom says your goal is not to make profit. Your goal is to create higher good for the maximum number of stakeholders for as long a time as possible. Let me repeat that. भारतीय शास्त्र कहता है कि आपको इस तरीके से काम करना है. छोटी कंपनी हो, बड़ी कंपनी हो, एक व्यक्ति हो, 100 व्यक्ति हो, that आपको समस्त जन कल्याण के लिए निरंतर तरीके से सोचना है. निरंतरम means ongoing basis. Jana Kalyan, Jana is not just humans over here. We are speaking about the entire environment as well. Samasta means everyone. Okay, now you will see in modern times, about 2 decades back also, one gentleman said that the goal should go beyond profit and it should be 3 P's: people, planet, and profit. Okay, unfortunately, most companies did not find that practical enough. So one of the issues is this problem as well. Yes, I want to tell you that profit is a part of higher good. I repeat, profit is a part of higher good. It is not exclusive. Next, please. Now, I'm going to give you two very beautiful words. They contrast with each other. Modern times say Vyashti. Who is the star performer? Who is the, what do you call that? The Forbes top 100. Who is the biggest billionaire? And so on and so forth. क्या कर रहे हैं हम लोग? Vyashti. Vyashti means individuality matters far more than the collective. Whereas if you see in Bharat, I say everything in society was done collectively. आपको अगर नदी में से पानी भी निकालना है या कपड़े भी धोना है, आप ग्रुप में जाते थे। चौराहे पे साथ में बैठते थे, खाना साथ में खाते थे, भजन कीर्तन साथ में करते थे. And in general, society took responsibility for individual prosperity as well. This is what samashti. So samashti means that the collective always includes the individual but is over and above the individual. Okay, Garima, as I mentioned earlier, I will request you to please park your comment. Huh? You can keep your hand up, कोई problem नहीं, लेकिन हम बाद में cover करेंगे. Next, please. Fourth one. Now, we know very, very well, my dear friends, that in modern organizations, we say corporate social responsibility. And what does corporate social responsibility say? पहले पैसे कमाओ, और अगर आपका फायदा हुआ, वो फायदे में से 1% आप सोसाइटी को दे दो. Wow, how amazing is this? Indian wisdom said that, boss, you don't wait for your फायदा. आप पहले देने से शुरुआत करो, फायदा अपने आप हो जाएगा. I repeat that. As and when you are leading your life, start giving. You know, there is a entire sutra somewhere, I think it's in the Rigveda, I can't remember exactly where, which has reappeared in, I think, Chanakya Niti, which says that every morning you must feed the fish, you must feed the birds, you must feed the ants, you must feed the cow, and you must feed a cat or a dog. After that, you eat. Think about it. So we earn our living through our giving. I repeat, we earn our living through our giving, and not the other way around. That first we will, create our earning, and then we will think, इसमें से देना है कि नहीं? And this, by the way, all that I'm sharing with you are eternal principles. The more you absorb these, the more you will find your life changing, if it already you aren't on that path. Next, please. Yes, this is one of my favorite ones. So what do we say in modern times? Pani hai, consume karo. Hawa hai, consume karo. Sunlight hai, quickly tap it in solar and start using it. Hawa hai, use windmills and convert it into energy for your company. In the earth, there are different minerals. Come on, suck them out. Do you see what modern man is doing? पानी में मछली है, चलो खाने लगो. जमीन पर जानवर है, चलो खाने लगो. It's as if the whole universe is created only for man. Brahmadev must be getting diarrhea of DaDaDa by now. इतने problems हमने create किए हैं. Now look at the eternal Indian wisdom. Eternal Indian wisdom says that each of this is to be thought of as a divine power. And when you venerate this divine power, you request that, please, can you allow me to take some of your share of your giving? So Surya Dev, what do we have? Gayatri Mantra, Surya Namaskar. Why? Because I want to salute it. I want to venerate it. I want to regard it and then it enables me to use it. Right? There is a very beautiful verse which tells us to beg for forgiveness from Mother Earth, that I am putting my foot on her and walking all over her. Why? Because पृथ्वी भी माँ है, पृथ्वी भी देवी है, और जब मैं पृथ्वी को देवी समझता हूं, then I will, do Bhumi Pujan and then start something. Do you see this? So whether it is Chandra, Surya, Vayu, Agni, Indra, Kuber, कितने सारे हमारे देव है, ये देव इसके लिए नहीं है कि हमने अलग अलग कहानियां बनाई है. No. The reason for it is because we see the divine in everything. If we see the divine in everything, then we will value it. If every tree has a divine, should we be cutting it? No. But we are chopping off. If every bird and animal is divine, will we be killing them for our own benefit? No. You get it? So everything that exists in the world naturally, not man-made, is divine by nature, and we have to venerate them, we have to salute them, हमें नमन करना है, and then they will allow us to use some of it. Okay, that's the Indian notion. Next, please. In modern times, there are many phrases like live it up, live as if there is no tomorrow. Right? And वैसे ही हम लोग लाइफ भी लीड करते हैं. कल किसने देखा है? हाँ, हिंदी में भी आ गया, कल किसने देखा. But in Indian wisdom, it says that the kal that you are living today is going to move around and come back. Okay, I repeat, everything is cyclical. इसके लिए हमारे युग का concept क्या है? That everything, whether it is the 4 yugs or whether it is a good time or it is a bad time, is cyclical in nature. Like the cycles of the moon. इसके लिए वो image दिखाया गया है. Everything is cyclical in Bharat. Everything, 100%. तो हमारा जीवन भी जो है, एक साइकिल है. So, when we understand this principle, then every moment matters, and what we do in that moment matters. है ना? More on this in upcoming slides. Next, please. Now, what is management? अगर आपको पूछा गया, I remember my first lecture in management. One very good teacher, I remember his name also, Ram Krishna. He was a professor of management, of marketing. He came and wrote MANAGEMENT on the board, essay. Then he put a line after manage. काट दिया वो शब्द को. Then he put a line after men. And he said, management is managing men tactfully. I repeat, managing men tactfully. वो T का मतलब है tactfully. Very beautiful, right? I was also very impressed. But guess what? This is not management. Okay, now here is why. Because we have been taught that all of management is managing things outside. Managing people, managing resources, managing projects, managing time, managing stress, everything is outside. But the number one lesson of management is to manage within. Go within, look within. जब हम स्वाध्याय करते हैं, खुद को देखते हैं, खुद का परीक्षण करते हैं, तब हमको पता चलेगा कि मुझ में क्या वो चीजें हैं जो मुझे बदलनी है। जब उनको बदलने लगूंगा तो बाहर की चीजें अपने आप बदलने लगेंगी। दिस इज गारंटीड माय डियर फ्रेंड्स। So a large number of leaders we work with say that, please change our people. Change our people matlab not nikalo, but train them, groom them, make them better. You know what we tell them? Yes, we will. We will start with you though. That is the primary condition we put for working with organizations. If you are willing to work with yourself, then we will work with the rest of the organization. Okay, because management of the inner world will manage the outer world. Therefore, we have both Yoga Shastra और अर्थशास्त्र, दोनों है। योग शास्त्र इनर वर्ल्ड को मैनेज करता है, अर्थशास्त्र टेक्स दैट फ्रॉम द इनसाइड टू द आउटसाइड। वो ट्रांजिशन करने में ट्रांजिशन करने में हमारी मदद करता है अर्थशास्त्र, एज यू विल सी in the later sessions of this course. Next, please. Now here comes the further extension of everything is cyclical. हमने क्या कहा? जो हम इस मिनट करेंगे उसका बाद में भी उसका इफेक्ट होगा, isn't it? Now this is something that in Indian wisdom is referred to as karma. And what is this dharma? We'll come to in just a few moments. But mind you, first let's look at modern times. जब आप कंपनी ज्वाइन करते हैं तो सबसे पहले आपको क्या मिलता है? जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन, दिस इज योर रोल. And more likely than not, while it is not always that clear, but more likely than not, very soon you will be given your goals. This is your target. So the entire modern world runs around roles and goals, roles and goals, roles and goals. Tell me how many people are happy with their performance appraisal. Tell me one person in the corporate world who has claimed that performance appraisal is the best thing that has happened to mankind. Not one, not even the CEO. The reason is this: because goals and roles are given to the individual. They are not assumed. आपको रोल दिया जाता है, आपको गोल दिया जाता है. Now here's the opposite, or at least the alternative. I won't say opposite, alternative. Dharma is not religion. Dharma is purpose. The purpose of this course is Uttishta Bharat. The purpose of this course is to make the world a better place. If everyone actually put this into their own minds and heads and said, what is my purpose in this world? Then my purpose would be to make my organization a better place. My purpose would be to add value to society. And then karma would flow from that itself. And then each of my actions would be more meaningful. Because mind you, karma is a cycle. जो मैं करूंगा उसका इफेक्ट मुझी पर होने वाला है. अच्छा करूंगा तो पॉजिटिव इफेक्ट विल कम. बुरा करूंगा then a similar impact will happen. Got it? So whereas in the modern times we live by goals and roles which are handed down to us, the real way of living which was there since eternal Indian times is dharma और कर्म. धर्म को भी आप खुद समझते हो और कर्म के लिए भी जिम्मेदारी आप खुद लेते हो. Next, please. So this is our second last one now. And this is among the most powerful metaphors you will ever learn. I repeat, this is among the most powerful metaphors you will ever learn. Many homes have a garden. है ना? And many times people are known by their gardens in societies. इसका गार्डन बहुत सुंदर है, इसका बढ़िया है, इसका बड़ा है, इसका छोटा है, and so on. Now the challenge with gardens is they have to be constantly looked after. They look beautiful, but day-to-day attention, daily attention, pruning the weeds, planting new seeds, putting water, etc., etc., etc. All man-made and continuous attention required. This is how modern life is. Modern life, you have to put daily effort to just live यार. बहुत मेहनत, ट्रैवल में मेहनत, काम में मेहनत, बॉस को खुश रखने के लिए मेहनत, घर वालों को खुश रखने के लिए मेहनत, all effort. But Indian wisdom says that it is like a forest. आप one time समझकर you put in that effort, after that life just flows. Who waters the forest? Who takes care of the forest? Not you and me. Forest takes care of itself. And the birds, and the plants, and humans, and everyone. So eternal Indian wisdom are principles which are everlasting. They don't change with time. कि आज बिजनेस री इंजीनियरिंग, कल बैलेंस स्कोर कार्ड, परसों रेड एंड ब्लू ओशियन, डे आफ्टर समथिंग एल्स, द नेक्स्ट बिग थिंग. एवरीथिंग कम्स गोज, कम्स गोज, कम्स गोज. गार्डन, आज ये फूल लगाओ, कल वो फूल लगाओ. So what do you want? Last but not the least, next please. Indian wisdom has some very interesting perspectives. But uske pehle, let's look at what modern life says. Modern life says that only science is rational. Spirituality ना, ये आपका जो भक्ति है, सेवा है, ये सब चीजें ना, ये पर्सनल है, ये आप घर में रखिए. That's why, surprisingly, when the ISRO scientists landed, sent a satellite rocket into space, and after that, some of those scientists went to the temple, on social media, they were ripped apart, saying that you are scientists, how can you visit the temple? Because the questioners think that science alag hai. Here is what I want to tell you, my dear friends. Every single thing in Bharat I mentioned earlier is science. So, science is nothing but that which is within you, but lying in this entire universe. So, the same spirit within, when it is manifested outside, it becomes science. Spirituality is when everything that is outside is inside of you. What do I mean by that? Have you heard the Sanskrit phrase, Yat Pinde Tat Brahmande? Okay, the world outside, if you look at the construction of the world, 70%, thereabouts, is water. The same is true within your body. Right? Every object, the entire world is made up of 5 elements. So is your body. The world survives on sunlight and air. So does your body. And everything in the world actually is made as a reflection of the human being. It's very interesting, but you can go into deep details of this. Different parts of the body ke liye, there are different medicines in nature itself. And that part of the body has exactly the same physical features as that thing outside. Kaise? The brain ke liye kya acha hai? Accrued. Right? Or walnut. How does the walnut look? Like the brain. You will find this so many. Every single part of the body has a natural medicine which looks exactly like that part. You can research this. Okay, so this brings us to the end of our 10 differences or 10 contrasts between modern management or modern life and eternal Indian wisdom. Yes. So we are at the end of our time for today. Next time we will cover Dharma in great detail. We can take your questions now, starting with Anshuman. Yes, Anshuman, please go. And then over to Tejan.
Sir, can we give an observation also, or is it just questions?
Of course. Why not? Boliye na.
Okay, so I just wanted to say, sir, that I really enjoyed these 10 slides. It's a great validation of everything that I have learned over the past 2 or 3 years with Mr. Alan Cohen and other teachers. Sir, ये सिर्फ वो प्रिंसिपल्स नहीं हैं जिसको मैं इंडियन प्रिंसिपल्स बोलूंगा या इंडियन विजडम बोलूंगा. I would rather just call it wisdom because I studied the Tao Made Easy, and I also studied A Course in Miracles, which was said by Jesus Christ 45 years back. In fact, I did my teacher's training of A Course in Miracles, and all of them say the exact identical thing which you say. And sir, I think it's just a matter of taking a leap of faith
Yes.
in everything, whatever you are saying. And then we will see that how it comes together to actually manifest our goals and dreams. सारी कायनात जुड़ जाएगी हमें वो चीज देने के लिए जिसको हमें अचीव करना है, अगर हम एक्चुअली इस चीज को फॉलो करें. बट ये चीज बहुत डिफिकल्ट है फॉलो करना, क्योंकि हम एक्शन एंड रिएक्शन में बहुत ज्यादा बिलीव करते हैं. बट it's an inside out process, and I truly believe that if we can change it internally, then the outside will be exactly what we want. So it's not Indian wisdom. I would just rephrase it as just being wisdom, because the Tower was written 2,500 years ago, and that says exactly the same things that you have pointed out. And I hope, sir, that like I told you, I didn't understand any of the course material that you said. It was so complicated. So I hope that you will cover these 10 slides, slide per slide, over the next couple of sessions. It's really interesting, and it's a great validation of everything that I've learned, sir. So just wanted to share this.
Fantastic. Thank you. And by the way, you are 100% right. The wisdom of the ages in any civilization actually says the same. But ये कहना इसलिए पड़ता है because we particularly follow.
सर आपको भी तो कोर्स बेचना है ना, तो आप तो बोलेंगे ही.
नहीं सर, ऐसा नहीं है. As you will see, जैसे हमने next time के session में we said we'll do dharma. Now dharma is known by many words in different parts of the world. Dharma is no different from Tao in China. But at the same time, we are using our terms. That's why we say this is Indian wisdom.
I said that on a lighter note.
Yeah. No, completely valid. मैं सिर्फ ये बताना चाहता हूँ कि उसका कारण क्या है. I'm agreeing with you. ये पुराना जो, and we called it eternal, right? We didn't say ancient, because these are ongoing. They have always existed. We are only dipping into it now.
It's just beautiful, sir. It was just beautiful.
Yes.
Soulful. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me time.
Lovely. So what are the others thinking? Anything that you all may would like to just quickly share? Just share your feeling. Okay. Even if
I
there are
will go.
yes, please.
Yeah, again, just an observation, no questions. So when we went to this 10 slides,
Mm-hmm.
I am 50% on the modern, the visions which he or the identities which we spoke, and 50% on the traditional one, Indian traditional one. So I would want myself, to get into the traditional even for the rest 50. I don't know how, but I am just thinking. Yeah.
Superb, Shalaka. I think, yes, you don't know how, but I'm sure you will, come to that understanding slowly and gradually, and let it be a nice, slow process. There is nothing to hurry. Yeah. Yes. Who else wants to share anything? Yes, yes, please, Garima.
So there are two particular slides where I really felt touched. The first one was third, but I'll come to it after this. Fourth one, where it said life or business is not rooted in giving. And I am really obliged and happy and grateful to be associated to an organization which practices it as well, especially in my case where they've believed in me and entrusted me with this wisdom. And I hope that I also, become much larger at heart and give back. Uh, and the third slide, where it was about collective above individual, samashti. So I just felt that this modern concept of vyashti, individuality, has come in India post invasion. So I just wrote this little probe that invasion leads to division. And most of the organizations are facing challenges because of the same concept. Thank you.
Did you say three? I was waiting for the third one. Or
The fourth slide was where I'm grateful for, and third one is where I was emphasizing.
super beautiful. Yes. Anyone else?
Atul is looking very thoughtful.
No, so it's awakening for me, I think, and very thought-provoking. Many times I was reflecting when I was going through the slides that uh, it is so very easy to do things, but how much we get engrossed in this whole, I would not say the narrative, but this whole ecosystem, the environment, how strongly it plays a role, that we many times get carried away from the core, which is so very simple.
Lovely.
And it's tough to stick to it. So distractions are more, and that's what I feel is important for us to bring that discipline within us.
Yes. And it's not, it's a everyday task, right? It's an everyday
Every day.
excitement of being disciplined. So, yeah. Lovely. So I think rest of them are still dwelling over everything, and we must give them that space. So it will be a good idea for you all to just keep those 10 minutes after the session to note down your immediate thoughts. For having a better clarity, questions if there are any, which you could then further ask throughout the week on WhatsApp or connect with us individually also. It's perfectly fine. Yeah. Let's call it a close now. We'll meet again the next Saturday. Till then, all the best to all of you. Maybe please have Amita for the last Shanti mantra.
Yeah. Wow, what a beautiful set of learnings, and what a wise group of people we have attracted. I think I'm really looking forward to it. Garima, what you have said is amazing. It made my heart just burst with emotion. It was really something. Yeah, I think you're going to be giving back in a very, very big way, so that circulation has already started, that paying back, as we say. So wonderful. I'm looking forward to learning from all of you. We'll close as we always do with the Shanti mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Namaste and thank you.
नमस्ते शलाका और आशीष, आ जाओ स्टार्ट में और एंड में सबके चेहरे देखने।
मेरा ब्लरी चेहरा वापस देखना पड़ेगा बिकॉज
नहीं नहीं, अच्छा आ गया था आपका। योर इमेज वाज
दैट वाज
परफेक्टली
ऑन माय
ओके।
फोन,
ओके
लैपटॉप का
मीनाक्षी एक पिक्चर ले लो सबके साथ में।
या doesn't matter.
I'm
Shalaka,
ready to take pic.
Smile.
bye everyone. Have a
Bye.
Thank
Namaste.
wonderful
Have
rest
a
of
good
weekend
weekend.
and week ahead. Okay, do your swadhyay at your own pace. Bye bye.